Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well as another month is officially over for 2025. During the month of February, I collected clips of me switching from a standard edition hobonichi weeks to the mega edition for all the extra note pages. If you follow me both on Instagram and YouTube, you might already know, but the reason for the switch to the mega edition was because I was quickly running out of room in the standard edition. I initially chose the standard edition since I was never really good at actually using the note pages in previous hobonichi weeks, so I didn't really think it would be much of an issue for 2025. In the 3 years that I did use a hobonichi week standard edition, I always failed to update any of the collections actually set up in the notes, and I often wouldn't even reach the halfway mark for the 70 or so pages you get in the standard edition. Even though I did want to make a better effort at updating my note pages, I didn't expect to actually enjoy my experimentation so much of adding journaling in the notes. And this led me to filling up pages at a much faster pace, hence the switch to the mega edition. I just didn't want to run out of pages and regret not being able to document certain things due to lack of pages. As I've been talking, I was setting up my monthly calendar for February. My new system is to only mark key events or appointments I want to be able to easily reference in the future, since flipping through 10 monthly pages is a lot easier than flipping through 52 weekly pages. I also am marking my top 3 goals, the books I want to read during the month, and the social media posts I would like to film, as well as adding a small vision board of the month, so it's like a visual reminder of my goals with a little paperclip. I just really like how quick and easy this new system of my monthly routine is, as it really just cuts down on the time I used to take where I was adding every single event or appointment in this calendar layout but never actually referencing it. But now the initial setup only takes about 10 minutes in total, and then at the end of the month I can come back when I have time and use the blank spaces to add some extra journaling. In the back of the hobonichi planners, there are usually a few reference pages. Depending on if it's a Japanese edition or English edition, the pages may differ, but luckily Hobonichi offers free printables on their website. Since I prefer to use the Japanese edition Hobonichi weeks, all my reference pages are in Japanese. And while there are a few that I actually use, there are multiple I just do not care for and do not mind covering up. For example, the Japanese edition does not have the 365 checklists or the favorites page like the English edition hobonichi weeks, so I decided to print them. In order to make sure this planner does not bulk up too much, I printed the inserts on toner paper so it stays thin, and the cream paper also blends in really well with the cream paper of this planner. The favorites printable would be used to mark a few favorites of the month, like any media I consumed or even a purchase. I thought this would be a fun way to document favorites over the year. Plus, the printable has a spot for the date and title, a few icons that you can circle to mark what type of favorite item it is, and then 4 lines to jot down a few notes about your favorite item, and then if you care to, there's a space to put your 5-star rating. Since I am switching over to the mega version, I do need to catch up, so I only added the date and item for now. To tape the printable papers down, I used a Kikuyu dot liner, but I did struggle to place them straight and also not too close to the edge. So I did try to edit as much as that as I could. For the 365 checklist, I wanted to use this as a visual for where we are in the year. With these tiny yellow circle stickers from Daiso, I will mark off each day to see how many days I have left in the year to complete my goals. And in order to know what day corresponds with the current date, I found a printable online and clipped it on with a paper clip. This day, I desperately needed to just sit down and update all of my notes in various parts of my Hobonichi Weeks mega planner. One of the issues I had last year with my Hobonichi Weeks was just not going back to update my pages on a consistent basis. While I kept up with the weekly pages as needed, the note pages were just abandoned, to be honest. To prevent that from happening this year, I am trying to be more consistent, so the pages that I have set up will have updated information, so I'll actually feel more motivated to interact with these pages. This is also why I love these black and white tabs that I've added to certain pages in order to make it easier to access. first is a little flip of what my weekly pages look like currently, and then it's time to update week 7 in my planner since I haven't touched it much this week. This was just because I'm currently working on final papers this week for my master's degree, and since I was just working on them all day long, there wasn't much of a need to check my planner for other smaller tasks. But since I do want it to reflect what I did do, I'm taking the time to backfill it. While some blank spaces don't really bother me, especially with how comfortable I got with leaving pages blank completely or half empty, I do know that I'm better at sticking in a system when all the pages are filled out. It's just a lot more satisfying to flip through and makes me want to keep using my planner. While I have been adding journaling below in my inbox for the past few weekly pages, I am switching it up this week since I wanted to track the scores for the 4 Nations Hockey Face-Off that occurred this week in February. And lastly, I added a book review with a tiny paperclip.